My name is Ben. This is, well, the fourth part of my nightmare with Carrie. Where did I leave off on this? Yes, Carrie. Carrie, well, kidnapped me. I know, a very insane way to start off the fourth part, but hey, it is the truth. I tell nothing but the truth. I pretty much have to at this point, considering what happened is... I... Uh, Carrie held me hostage. I was livid, angry that she captured me, angry that she went on this rant about how she loved me, angry that she was doing this to me, angry that my life went upside down all because of one single girl. Not many girls, just one. It's crazy how one person can just change your life by the flick of her finger. I wanted to just... But I can't. I can't kill her. I kept telling myself sitting in that chair, I can't go down for what she's put me through. I won't let her win this. But fate decided to tell me otherwise. There was nothing else. Nothing that could stop this. I had no choice. I got out of my restraints when she went upstairs. She came back, of course. And I waited for her. The right time to, well, strike. I had a pocket knife in my shoe that she didn't know about, and I stabbed her in the jugular. There was so much blood. So much coming out of her little tiny neck. And I was so glad when I saw her life drain from her eyes. I mean, who wouldn't feel so free and liberated after a psychopath like that? You know, a few call me crazy, but I'm not crazy. I'm just angry. An angry person. She's ticked off to the very edge of the corner, to the very edge of the cliff. It's expecting me to just jump off, but no. Never back a wild animal into a corner. If you do, they'll lash out, and when they lash out, it won't be pretty. I wasn't going to let her do any more harm to me, or to my family. I needed to get rid of her completely. She's gone now. There's nothing she can do to me. She's gone. At least I think. I don't know, I did stab her in the jugular, no one will tell me, but I wasn't too quick to see what happened to her, so I don't know if she's alive or dead. No one will tell me, but I like to think she's gone. After I stabbed her in the neck, I took her body and buried her. I thought maybe I could at least give her a proper burial. I mean, she didn't kill me or harm me or anything, so I guess I owed her that much. Well, except for the part for the baseball against the head, of course. I just wanted this nightmare to be over. To forget about her, erased her existence from this town, and everyone for just move on and forget her. Her father, the sheriff, didn't think so. He questioned me, of course, the first one to come to. He was a little bit attackative. He tried to get me to confess, of course, but I did not confess to anything. I told him that I wouldn't. I told him I had nothing to do with it, but of course he didn't believe me. Well, of course he really wouldn't believe me, considering that's Daddy's girl, and Daddy's girl is so darn innocent. She had the whole town believing that I assaulted her. Even her daddy thinks so. I just want her gone. Out of my life completely, and she is gone. At least that's what I thought. I thought killing her would make things better, but it didn't make anything better. It just made things more worse than it was. Things got a little bit crazy over a couple of weeks. Carrie was missing. Nobody reported. No blood trails, nothing. Nothing was found. No, well, nothing except for a simple fingerprint. Gosh darn it. That stupid fingerprint. You know, I thought that that fingerprint would be my downfall, but it somehow wasn't. You want to know the kicker about it? It's apparently Carrie's fingerprint, but in blood. When I heard about the fingerprint, I thought it was over for me, but it was Carrie's. It was her. She had left the fingerprints on the weapon that I forgot to get rid of. The bat, of course. She just didn't take into consideration of what that could mean if I was to go missing. Carrie may be smart, but she is dumb. Slow, if I can well, if I should say, I don't want to be rude, but Carrie won't be bothering me anymore. She won't be bothering anyone anymore, considering she's gone now. In the deep pits of, well, I don't want to say that, of course. I don't wish that upon anyone, but for her, I do. I shouldn't be getting angry like that, but she deserved it, of course. Things got a lot more crazy over the week when I got people coming to my door, knocking and trying to get answers out of me. Reporters, of course, trying to get, a good story here and there. Even some from New York City and LA came to my small little town and decided to try to get answers out of me. I cannot stand reporters. They ask so many questions, and then every time you answer one, they hit you with another question that's impossible to answer. They always never quit. It doesn't matter what answer you give them, they'll come to the conclusion themselves. If you don't talk to them, then they'll come to it themselves and just say that you did it. If you do talk to them, they'll say you did it. There's just nothing you can say or do to get these reporters to believe your story. But, of course, I did have a little bit of help with one reporter. She was nice and kind and sweet, and I took a little bit of an attraction towards her, and she took one towards me. Well, of course, my attraction towards her wasn't real. I just needed her to just tell everyone that nothing happened between me and Carrie, that Carrie's assault was lies, and I did not, do anything to her. She believed me, of course. She is quite a stupid one, to say the least. She isn't the best reporter. I don't even know how she landed the job. But it was easy to convince her. She got most reporters to believe me, but some were wary of the claims. Some didn't really believe her, and some still tried to pursue the story. It doesn't matter whether you're innocent or not. They just want something to make you be the bad guy in all of it. But how was I the bad guy in any of this? She led me to this. She made me do this. She made me kill her. She made me do this. It was all her fault. She didn't need to mess with my family. She didn't need to mess with me. I just... Okay. Relax, Ben, relax. I eventually got called into questioning by the police, and that kind of went a little bit awry. I guess it doesn't matter what I say or do to the cops, they just assume things. Assume. Hello there, my name is Sheriff Riley. This is a tape recording of an interview I have with Ben Freely. Go on, Ben, may I ask where you were on the night of 17 in April? Well, I was, at home with my baby sister, babysitting her for the night while my parents were out. Is that so? Your sister, I do have to ask, was a little bit hesitant to ask that question. Well, to answer it, I mean. Oh, she's just shy when she meets new people. Trust me, she's just a little sweetheart, that's all. So are you sure that nothing occurred in that night? Oh, I'm sure. The detective, you mean sheriff, right? Yes, sheriff. I'm sorry. I just had an interview with a detective earlier, and well, I'm a little bit shaken up about their questioning me. That's an interesting word to say, but okay. I do have to ask, what is your previous involvement with Carrie? Well, me and Carrie used to date, and I can't say I was surprised when it didn't work out. Why do you say that? Well, she was a little bit controlling, just a little bit. No offense, Sheriff, to your daughter, but she kind of wasn't all the way there, I guess. She made stories and made lies about me assaulting her, which turned the whole town against me. I didn't really take too kindly to that, but I would never hurt her or anything. Are you sure about that, son? I'm positive. I don't know. You're a little too close to this case, and considering that you are, well, a little bit off the edge a couple months ago, it's surprising to see how better you are, considering after Carrie's disappearance and everything. Sheriff, are you really thinking that I did something to Carrie? Well, that depends, son, on whether you tell us the truth or not. I'm telling you the truth, Sheriff. I wouldn't lie to you, okay? Carrie was just off. End of story. The sheriff really thinks he could back me into a corner. I barely got away with that interview. I barely can answer the questions. I can't falter the way that I did in that interview. I have to keep my head up. Keep looking innocent and don't freaking spill the beans. But of course, considering that I'm documenting all this, I'm pretty sure you know what happens next. Those who were involved, anyways. Those who watch the news, anyways. A couple months passed, and I thought I was in the clear, but of course. See, in the end, you always get caught, some way or another. It's always something that you forget, something you leave behind. Even in death, carries still colossal pain in my rear end. But it doesn't matter. I don't care if I get caught. As long as she's dead, I'm happy with that. What am I saying? I sound crazy after all. But I'm not. I have every right to be disgusted of her. After everything she's done, of course. It's truly sad to see someone like her go. Just walking to the streets all alone at night. Robbed, mugged, just brutally stabbed in her neck, robbed of her jewelry and money. It was truly a sad, terrible tragedy. When they found her body, I can't say I was surprised, but my story did work. They assumed she got mugged considering a lot of her jewelry and her wallet and ID card was missing. I made sure to burn all of that, of course. I wasn't going to keep any of it. I'm not a Joe Goldberg kind of guy, but it would be nice to keep a treasure or a trophy of some kind. But I didn't, of course. Can't have anything leaking back to me. Not even a credit card. Not a piece of jewelry, not a single. I just needed for it to be gone. Out of my life forever. But of course, something just goes wrong. Something always goes wrong when you don't make sure to clean up the mess properly. The knife. The knife was recovered. I'm not sure how. I thought I got rid of that darn thing, but somehow someone found it. It had my fingerprints all over it and with Carrie's DNA on it. I was arrested that same night. My arrest spread through the nation like wildfire. A psycho man freaking accused of murdering a poor innocent schoolgirl. All because, well, he couldn't have her. And he was crazy about her. Assaulted her. Even tried to hurt her. Manipulated the public. The freaking reporters, even. It's truly disgusting of how one thing can lead to another. Terrible, terrible. My family's look on their faces as they saw me go into the cop car is something I'm never gonna forget. The disgusted and frightening look on my little sister's face is something I'll carry away for the rest of my life in prison. I wanted to tell Susan that I was sorry. That it just happened, but I know she'll never look at me the same way again. None of them will look at me the same way again. So here I am, sitting in my cell, writing this story. You wanna know what makes it worse? It wasn't just, the arrest. The trial was worse. I had to go through multiple trials of just sitting there and trying to explain and defend myself. I even went as far as to literally defend myself in court. Bad news never do that. It's never a good thing anyways. Bundy tried it and look where it got him. I couldn't take it anymore. The way those freaking people in that stand talked about how disgusting I was and how much I tortured Carrie. They didn't know the truth. They didn't know anything. They all looked at me like I was insane. Maybe I was insane, but I'm sane enough to let that girl live another second longer. It's alright though. It's okay, I try to tell myself. Nothing can always go the way you want them to. I guess I had to learn that the hard way. Carrie's rolling in her grave right now. I bet. Even in hell, she's laughing at me. It's this truly disgusting of how she can get away with anything, even when she's dead. The truth won't come out. No one knows but me. And except for her little friend she sent to stalk me. I saw her little friend at the trial smirking at me. I wanted to get up and grab her by the neck and snap it, but I didn't want to go to jail for a second murder. But it wouldn't matter anyways if I killed her or not. I was handed the cruelest punishment of all. Not a couple years in jail, not even a life sentence. I was given the death penalty. Death. Death for a girl who went and destroyed my life, made me look like a fool in front of everyone, and is now even going to succeed at taking my life and make me join her in the afterlife. I sit in my cell every day, every week, every month, every year, awaiting the chair to feel the electricity course through my body as I begin to burn up from the inside out, as I can feel myself to cook within the iron bars. The people staring at me in chairs through a glass window, watching my life slowly fade out of existence, as I begin to wonder to myself, where did I go wrong? How did I let her win? It's truly a tragedy. It doesn't matter, of course. I still found a way to win. I think. I don't know, maybe Carrie won. It doesn't really matter. But I killed her, that's all that matters. She can't do this to anyone else. This is just to be sent out to the press, of course, this document. I hope it doesn't get stacked on a bunch of papers just like they usually do. This needs to be publicly known. That my crimes and my actions were all justified. And to know the truth of what really happened. Most people won't believe me, but I hope some do and take this into consideration. If you are with someone like Carrie, it's best to leave them. Trust me, if you don't, who knows what type of situation you'll end up in. I know a lot of people might try to take my sad sob story and think that I'm just trying to twistify and use the justice system to just justify my twisted morality, but you're wrong. I'm not saying this for clout. I'm not saying this for anything. I'm saying this because my life was destroyed, but not by a monster, not by a psychopath with a freaking butcher's knife, and not by an undead zombie trying to attack me. No, by a sick, twisted girl who destroyed everything I cared about. That's truly makes me sick. My execution is tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. It's something, of course, something that I've longed for a while. I'd rather die than sit another second in this darn cell. All the people I can hear outside cheering my death like this is the freaking... Okay. I might as well get ready and end this short. To my family and friends, I am truly sorry that you have to bear this burden for the rest of your lives. It's not what I wish, of course. I just wish things did turn out differently. If I could turn back time, I would. And to you, Carrie, I hope you burn for eternity. Because when I join you, I'm gonna make sure to make it more painful as possible. And I will relish in your screams as you begin to wonder and begin to beg me to stop. I guess that's it. Ben Freely was executed earlier this morning at 7 o'clock a.m. on the dime. This document is the last remaining known document of Ben Freely. Other tape recordings and interviews will be stationed in police evidence. This document as well. But as a final request of him, in his will, that this document will be shown to people on the news and accessible to online. But for the time being, it will be placed in evidence, for where it cannot be touched, until it is time to free its reveals and secrets. This is Sheriff Riley signing off.